Hey YouTube, my name's Steph and my partner is a collector, which makes me a collector by proxy. Today we are going to be looking at the legendary storytelling board game, The Tales of the Arabian Nights. This is a thematic storytelling RPG that takes place in the world of Aladdin and Sinbad. It is an older game. This actually originally came out in 1985. The version that we have is the reprinted version from 2009, and I believe it got its final reprint last year. So there's only 3 editions of this game, and that's it. So it is gonna be a bit of a rare one pretty soon. Yeah, so we have quite a large board game collection. We are kind of at the point now where we want to start really curating the games that we have on the shelf to be games that we absolutely cannot not have. Like the games that we love and we love to play. So we have decided to slowly start going through all of our games and getting rid of games that we don't absolutely love. We don't want any filler games. We don't want games that we feel like we should have just because of the type of game it is or because it's a popular game. We want to have the games on the shelf that we really enjoy. So we've started to go back to games that we haven't played in a very long time. And Tales is one of them. I think this is one of the first few that Andrew actually picked up when he started collecting. And I think I've only played it with him once. It's a 1 to 6 player game. And I think he's played it with me and I think maybe with a group of friends. But I've only played it once, and we really were like, should we get rid of this? We haven't played it in a really long time. So we were like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So we put it out and we started playing. My expectations, like I said, were low because I really remember not super enjoying this game. I think at the time I wasn't super into the whole board game thing. So it was hard for me to kind of grasp. But now that I'm really into RPGs now, I'm really into tabletop games. And so when we put it out and started playing, I actually very much enjoyed it. This game is interesting in that it's a storytelling game. You get to choose your character and build your character with certain skill sets that you get to choose from. And then it's basically you living and adventuring around this map and getting into situations and trying to gain as many story and destiny points as you can to win the game. So it's this interesting thing where it's competitive because you are competing against the other people you're playing against, but it's also very singular, which I think is why it also works well as a single player game, is because you're taking care of yourself. You're not really out to sabotage people. You're really taking care of your person and your story. And everyone else just kind of, again, plays for themselves in that way too. So in that way, it feels really kind of disconnected, but also it is super fun watching, people get into situations and listening to the stories that they get to go through. So yeah, we had a good time. I kind of just picked skills at random. and the skills kind of help you throughout the story, gives you different story options. We got different statuses. I think I became very rich, like, immediately. I got very lucky. I became very rich immediately, and I was able to use my wealth to go up the ranks and use my skill sets that way. And then I basically was super rich and traveled everywhere and got to use my money. So I had a good time, but it was really fun. And there's a lot of different, like, mythical and fantastical things that come up throughout the game. There's secret places that you can unlock. There's magic. There's demons. There's all sorts of very cool things that you can experience throughout the game. And yeah, so we actually, I think, are going to be keeping this game because, surprise, surprise, we had a very, very good time playing it. I actually want to play it again, but we have to move on to some other games because there's a lot to get through to figure out what we really, really want on our shelf. So, do I have any criticisms? I think overall, like, this is a super fun game. If you can get your hands on it, I recommend it, especially if you like RPGs. My only real criticisms are that it is clunky. It's an older game, right? So it did come out kind of when RPGs weren't really finessed the way they kind of are. Like, not only do you have like a lot of different cards that you have to kind of set up for the game, you also have these two big books that you kind of have to pass back and forth as you play, because as you play your story out and you have to make choices, and your players opposite you have these books, and they're the ones that are, they're like looking at the matrix to see your choice, and they go, okay, I have to turn to page 2288, and they do this, and then they give you the little blurb and more choices, and then you gotta flip to the other page and do all that. So it is quite a bit of work for the story. We didn't mind it too much, honestly, but compared to newer RPG games, that kind of mechanic does feel, it feels like a lot, it feels like a lot. The other kind of criticism I would have for this game, and again, it's very much about when it was made, is there's kind of some problematic stuff in this game. Like, if you're a man or a woman, there's, like I said, there's 6 characters to choose from. If you're a woman in the game, like, you can't marry another woman. So there's like certain things in the game, like if you want to have the benefits of what a man or a woman have within the game, you have to get a sex change, which that is different, but it's a little like, come on, like, just let me get married to a hot princess, So yeah, in terms of like the rules of like who you can fall in love with and stuff like that, it's a little antiquated for 2022. But I'm pretty sure the creator of the game was kind of like, yeah, that's part of just like the time of when it was made. Like, if you want to just do it. And that's kind of how Andrew and I played. I got to marry a hot princess. Yeah, so other than that, yeah. And again, like, the first quest that Andrew got was that he had to go buy a slave. And we were like, ooh, oh, okay, I'll buy a slave. which I guess it's part of like the fantastical world of that you're playing in. But yeah, it just didn't feel great. Yeah, other than it being a little clunky, and maybe, which would maybe like turn off like new players, because it's a lot of work. I think it's still a really good game. It was a lot of fun. There's not a lot of player-on-player connection, but at the same time, you know, you're reading the story out, they're making decisions, so it is in that way a lot of fun, and it's competitive with your story and destiny points, but at the same time, it's about the friends we made along the way. It's about the journey, and yeah, I had a great time with this game. I definitely recommend it if you can get your hands on it, and if you play it, let me know. Let me know what you think. Do you have the same thoughts as me, or what? We'll take one more look at this beautiful cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. Here, you don't need my creepy eyes peeking out. Yeah, that is Tales of the Arabian Nights. Have you played it? What do you think about it? Are you going to play it? And yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.